Welcome to the Annandale Spring 2019 MTT Policy Briefing. Today we are going to be talking about review of best practices, review of lab classroom rules, Sp19 reports, changes to syllabi, multiple measures, and the updated VPT. So hopefully just a quick review of best practices. Email students prior to the first day. This can be done via Blackboard. You can either copy and paste the welcome letter or attach it to your own email. Start the Sp19 as you are prepping to do your checklist. Give each student a copy of their checklist so that they have in writing the units they need to do and the key dates. Make sure students have access to the syllabus. By college policy, it must be on Blackboard. Limit partial credit. Input attendance weekly. Grade notes and return to students by the next class. Input grades and email me the Sp19 reports within 48 hours of the course ending. Review of lab and classroom rules. No food, drink, or electronic devices in sight. Limit talking to math topics only. Teachers should model correct behavior. That means your cell phone should be put away as well. You shouldn't have books out. You should try to keep the discussion to math-related topics yourself. And also make sure you walk around and help other students. Remember, we are a team. No one is perfect, and some students will try to bend the truth to get out of following the rules. Now a quick review of the Sp19 reports. The color-coded headings provide directions. Fill out the roster information and the developmental history before classes start. Fill in the number of quizzes and test attempts either as a student passes a module or unit or weekly. Do not wait until the end. The columns. Class means MTT1, MTT2, MTT3, MTT4, or BSK. Class number means that 5-digit number. The MTH goal unit should always be 3, 5, or 9, based on what credit class they are trying to get into. If a student only needs to go through Unit 5, but already has credit for 5 on the placement test, you still put a 5 here. Just make sure you put an X or C or whatever you use for past units in the post-test column for Unit 5. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, even if you just want to make sure you're doing it correctly. There have been some changes to the syllabi over the last year. There is one that's new this term dealing with student responsibilities. The syllabus now says that students are expected to know what units they need, and if there are discrepancies, they need to check with their instructor and their advisor. This means they also need to know what units they need to skip. You can help them with this by either talking to them about their next unit and/or locking skipped units by changing the password. Don't forget we also had a change to the academic honesty policy last term. We can no longer remove students from the class if they cheat. However, we can still give them a U unless they successfully contest and the college sides with them. You do need to let them know that they can contest by pointing them to the student handbook. You give them a 0 on the assignment, make them do any required remediation on the next attempt. Lab staff or tutor that taught them will be responsible for filing an overcast report and emailing you, Karen Lesser, Dr. Walters, and myself. Remember, we also had some major changes last semester with multiple measures and the updated VPT. Students might have credits for 1 through 3, 1 through 5, based on GED, SAT, or ACT scores. Credit for 1 through 5, so start on Unit 6, means an SAT math score greater than 510 but less than 530, an ACT math score of 19, 20, or 21, a GED math score of greater than or equal to 165. Now keep in mind this actually won't show up in the developmental history reports. And they can also get credit for 1 through 3, but only via the GED with math scores between 155 and 165. These students would start on Unit 4. If you do not see test scores, look for the student groups for 2017 or higher and go by those. There have been changes to the VPT too, but however it still only applies to some students. Some students might not test for Unit 0 unless they fail all the other units. Some students, depending on the cohort, might also have units completed for 6 through 9 without having all of 1 through 5 passed. There is one other change to student histories. Usually you take the best out of multiple attempts. However, some students who took the VPT after taking MTT, you go only with the most recent VPT scores. Only count post-tests completed after the most recent VPT date. Retaking the VPT was one stipulation some students were given to earn a course repeat. How do you know? VPT dates with scores later than post-test pre-test dates. History reports also list prior MTT attempts and grades. When in doubt, just ask. If you feel like you need additional training, please email me whenever you have questions or come by my office. I can design a small group meeting if need be. I can also design handouts or make additional videos, some of which I'm already planning, on multiple things like reading the development history report, how and when to import scores from a previous section, more in-depth on the Sp19, what MCR classes are, different things like that. And with that, that's the end of the presentation. It was short this semester. I hope you all have a wonderful semester, and please do not hesitate to email me or come by my office if you have questions.